There's a specific kind of exhaustion that has nothing to do with overworking. It comes from being too much, for too many people, for too long. You're the one they call when things fall apart. The one who holds it together when everyone else is losing it. And for a while, that felt like a purpose. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. You're not just helping people anymore. You're holding them together. And not one person has stopped to ask if you're okay. If that hits a little too close, you're not alone, and that's exactly why we're here. Today, we're going to unpack what it actually costs to be everyone's emotional anchor and how to stop burning yourself out without becoming someone you don't recognize. Here's something most people don't realize. When you show up for someone in crisis, you're not just listening, you're regulating their nervous system. When they panic, you steady them. When they spiral, you ground them. When they're overwhelmed, your calm absorbs the pressure. That's not emotional support. That's biological labor. Your nervous system is constantly scanning, adjusting, soothing. And even if the conversation looked calm from the outside, your body was working the entire time. That's why you leave certain people completely drained. Not because anything dramatic happened, but because your system was running at full capacity the whole time. Quick question. When's the last time someone asked how you were and you actually told them the truth? Because I'll bet you've had days that were genuinely brutal. Days where you were barely holding it together and someone asked how you were doing. And you said, "I'm good." Maybe even smiled. That's not just a social habit. That's a pattern. One you've probably had for a long time. You don't fall apart in front of people. You process alone, compose yourself, and move on. And from the outside, you look like you have it all together. The problem? The more composed you appear, the less people think to check in on you. Not because they don't care, because they genuinely don't know that you need it. Drop a comment below if this one resonated. You'd be surprised how many people are carrying the same thing. So how did you even get here? For a lot of people, it started early. Maybe you grew up in an environment that was chaotic, tense, or unpredictable. And instead of adding to the chaos, you became the calm one, the one who could handle it. Over time, your nervous system adapted to that role without you even realizing it. You became highly attuned to other people's emotional states, their tone shifts, their body language, even the silences between their words. Psychologists sometimes call the behavior that follows fawning, a stress response where, instead of fighting or freezing, you people please and appease to keep the peace. And here's the hidden cost of living that way. When your nervous system is constantly monitoring the emotional climate around you, it never fully powers down. Part of you is always on, always sensing, always waiting for something to go wrong. That's not a personality trait. That's exhaustion with a really good mask on. And the hardest place to break the pattern? Family. Picture this. You've finally made plans for yourself. Something you've been looking forward to. And then your phone rings. A parent needs something. A sibling is in crisis. Something urgent. Again. And instantly you feel it. That internal conflict. Because with family, it's never just a request. It feels like a duty. Family systems assign roles over time. And if yours was the responsible one, the fixer, the one who holds it together, then saying no doesn't feel like setting a boundary. It feels like being selfish. Psychologists call this homeostasis, the system's drive to keep everyone in their familiar roles. So when you try to step back, even gently, even reasonably, it disrupts the entire dynamic. People react, not necessarily to hurt you, but because the system is trying to return to what feels normal. The problem is, normal was never working for you. And it doesn't stop with family. It follows you into your friendships too, because behaviors are hard to unlearn. And social roles don't just describe what we do, they shape who we believe we are. If you grew up being the emotional anchor, you carry that identity into every new relationship. You become the therapist friend, the glue of the group, the one people vent to. It feels familiar. You know how to be that person, but there's a strange kind of loneliness that lives in that role. You're deeply involved in everyone's lives. But the parts of you that are struggling, those stay invisible. You can always tell when you've been invisible too long. It's the moment you realize you haven't been asked how you're doing in months. This pattern plays out in two directions. Sometimes you give so much, so fast, that you burn out before the relationship even has a chance to deepen. Other times, the relationship lasts, but you slowly disappear inside it. You become their safe place, their stability, their anchor. And somewhere along the way, you stop asking for the same in return. Either way, what should feel like connection starts to feel like labor. And you're left wondering, is this what love is supposed to feel like? So what do you do? Because the fear is real. If I pull back, will people stop needing me? If I say no, will they stop loving me? If I stop being the strong one, who am I? Here's what I want you to hold on to. Healthy boundaries don't turn you into a cold person. They turn you into an honest one. You're not abandoning the people you love. You're just refusing to abandon yourself in the process. Here's the shift that changes everything. Right now, your nervous system is wired to respond immediately. Fix it fast. Absorb it before it escalates. What you need to practice is space between the request and your response. Instead of automatically saying yes, try this. Let me check and get back to you. That one sentence does more than you think. It gives your nervous system time to ask a completely different question. Not, how do I fix this? But do I actually have capacity for this right now? Start noticing your body when requests come in. Is something tightening? Is there a familiar heaviness? Practice saying things like, I really care about you, but I can't tonight. I can do that for 10 minutes, but then I have to go. I need some time for myself right now. And something surprising happens when you start doing this. The people who genuinely care about you, they adjust. They don't lose respect for you. They gain a more honest version of you. And for maybe the first time, support stops flowing in only one direction. If you recognized yourself throughout this video, that's not a flaw. That's a sign of someone who is deeply emotionally intelligent, genuinely caring, and reliable in ways most people aren't. But being the strong one was never supposed to mean suffering in silence. When was the last time you were supported? If that answer feels murky, that's worth paying attention to. What would it look like to let yourself be held for once? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if this helped you put words to something you've been carrying, hit like and subscribe. We make these videos for exactly that reason. See you in the next one.